Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So because I wanted to be ahead of the world in giving updates, so I decided to jump a couple of episodes in Twist of Faith. So let me just say, let's just start and let's just continue from here. Priyanka asks Prager to take her necklace and get her married to Rishi. She says, my family is rich and will gift you many necklaces after marriage. Prager asks, what are you saying? And says, I am asking you to concentrate on your studies and career, and you are saying this. She gives back the necklace. Priyanka says she can concentrate on studies and career later. Prager says, I will talk to your family when the right time comes, and she asks her to go from there. Priyanka goes inside and gets the knife in her hand, and she threatens to slit her hand and commit suicide. She says my life and career is Rishi, and she asks Prager to give him to her and get her married to Rishi, and asks her to promise. Prager says I will talk to him, and she snatches the knife from her hand, and she asks her if she is mad. Prager says Priyanka doesn't love Rishi and she is only obsessed with him, and Priyanka need a treatment. She asks her to talk to her family and asks her to call the guy who slapped Rishi, and she would also call Rishi and talk to him. Vikram tells Abby that obsession remains for just few days. Abby says, who is lecturing me? He says it was not nice how Rishi talked to Priyanka. Vikram says everyone knows Abby's mischief. Abby says everyone becomes mischievous in love, and Abby thinks of Prager and him. A flashback was shown. He tells Prager that he couldn't play the happy music. He says let's have an adult talk. He lies on her lap and grandma comes there and calls them to have food. Abby says Prager asks him to check the insect in her stomach. He tells that Prager is having pain in her stomach. Grandma says I have a solution, and she calls Disha, asking her to bring neem juice. Disha brings the juice. Grandma asks Prager to drink it. Abby says it has bitter smell. Grandma says that insect will die and asks Prager to drink it. Prager drinks a bit and coughs. Abby then takes the glass cup from her hand and drinks the rest, and the flashback ends. Vikram says you drank bitter drink for Prager. He says you love her so much. Abby says he had an arranged marriage with Prager, and then love happens. Priyanka calls Abby but he couldn't pick the call. Later, he picked the call but the call ended. Prager also calls Abby, but Abby was also calling Priyanka's number. Priyanka says that he might be calling me and the phone will be busy. Prager says I will call him from my phone, and she wrote down the number. Priyanka asks her if she wants to get her daughters married to Rishi. Prager shouts at her and asks her not to roam near Rishi again. Abby thinks that why is Priyanka calling me? The temple guy comes there and tells that he has kept all the things. In the college, Dimpy tells Riya and Prachi that whatever the latter told Shahana is a lie. Shahana says that Riya is a supermodel and she is comfortable in whatever she wears. Riya says that she will win the fashion show and she can even wear an Indian cloth and she will still win. Prachi sees Ranbir playing football and she smiles looking at him. Ranbir sees her and asks what. She nods nothing and goes. Ranbir thinks to become like Rishi. Rishi sees spare key with him and calls Shahana, asking her to pick the keys from him and come to his office. Priyanka is leaving when Sarita comes and asks that why did she come, and Priyanka asks her. Sarita says I have forgiven you. Priyanka says I can't see your grandson's life ruined and tells that some people are stopping her and ruining his life. She says she wants to marry Rishi, but Prager and her daughters are stopping her. She says Rishi would become rich marrying her, which Prager doesn't want. Sarita says Prager saved you from me and you are saying this about her. She says I was right about you, that you are a spoilt girl. Priyanka says that Prager wants to get Shahana married to Rishi and she wants to spoil his life. Sarita tells that they have already planned Rishi and Shahana's marriage and they have already done their roka, and she asks Priyanka to just leave. Priyanka cries and goes to her car. She shouts on the road, hitting her leg on the car. The driver makes her sit and takes her away. Vikram's mother tells Priyanka's grandma that she will make Priyanka meet Ranbir. Priyanka comes there and sits angrily. Her grandmother asks her that what happened. Priyanka says that she wants to go on a vacation and she doesn't want to do any job anymore. Vikram's mother thinks that Abby might have scolded Priyanka and she calls him. Abby is in the office and he picks the call. He asks if she wants to show nail paint or sari. Vikram's mother says that did you talk to Priyanka, and tells that she came angrily and she says that she wants to go and doesn't want to do any job anymore. Abby says I will talk to her. He calls Priyanka and asks if she wants to go because of Rishi. She says yes. Abby asks her to come to the office and talk to him. Priyanka says okay. Rishi called Prager and tells her that he called Shahana to his office for giving the new house keys. Prager tells Rishi that they got there late and Shahana will come with them. Rishi asks what happened. Prager asks Rishi if it is possible for him to get an internship in some other office of the same company. Rishi asks if Priyanka came home. Prager says she will talk to him in merrily house. He says okay. Sarita comes home and she tells Prager that she talked to someone about shifting to another home. Prager tells Sarita that Priyanka came here. Sarita says I know and I met her outside. She is mad about Rishi. Prager says that she is getting bad vibes about her. Sarita says that she is strange and told her that she wants to marry Rishi and wants to make him rich. She says that she told her that she wants to get Rishi married to Shahana. Shahana comes to the office canteen and meets Rishi. Priyanka sees them. Prager tells Sarita that Priyanka is very dangerous and obsessive. Sarita says that she told her that Shahana and Rishi are engaged. Rishi gives the keys to Shahana. Someone pushed Shahana on Rishi accidentally and Priyanka looks at them and they smiled. Prager asks Sarita that Priyanka is obsessed with Rishi and she asks Sarita that why did she tell Priyanka that Shahana and Rishi are engaged and she angrily goes from there. Priyanka gets angry and takes the knife kept in the fruit basket of the cafeteria. She walks behind Shahana, hiding the knife behind her. She recalls Shahana and Rishi together and she was about to stab Shahana, but Shahana walks out from there and Priyanka fumes in anger. Prachi was waiting for taxi. Rohit and his friend are waiting for her. Rohit tells his friend that they have to come here and wait until he sees Prachi. Just then, he sees Prachi and asks his friend to see. His friend sees a transgender and says that your habit got bad. Rohit asks him to see there and says I remember a slap, but he would convince her with love and he will win her heart, and this time he would marry Prachi by force. Rohit told his friend that they should go and help Prachi. He stops a taxi driver and asks him to drop Prachi at home and come back to inform him about Prachi's address to get the money. The driver refused and Rohit shows the money. The driver then agrees. Rohit then asks the driver to come back and inform him about Prachi's address after dropping Prachi at home. Sarita and Prager comes to the merrily house. The lady Madhu opens the door and takes their stuff. She asks Prager if she is a heroine. Prager says I am not a heroine and says if I am a heroine, then I wouldn't have done this work. Madhu asks Sarita. Sarita tells her that she is heroine's mother and the hero is Mr. Mera and the film is on the way. Madhu helps Prager and asks her which cream she used and Prager says you are just like your mother. Sarita asks Madhu to do the work. Priyanka comes to Rishi and asks that what is Shahana doing here. Rishi says that it is not your work and Priyanka says that I will ask her and Rishi says that she came to get the house keys. Priyanka thinks that she will do something so that it would come near her to become hers forever. Shahana comes home and calls Prachi, asking her to come to Sarita's house. Prachi says I will come. Aryan and Ranbir come in the car. Aryan greets her and offers to drop her. Prachi asks that who will drive the car and Ranbir says that they will not give Prachi a lift and Prachi also says that she has a taxi already. Ranbir gets down from the taxi and asks her to choose between the head and the tail. She chooses one. Ranbir makes her sit in the car and pays the taxi driver. Rohit and Pabu sees her going with them. Rohit says that we have to find out who is this guy. Ranbir asks why did she argue when she wants to sit in the car. Prachi thinks that she sat in the car because the taxi driver went away. Ranbir tells Aryan about Rishi. Prachi says that Rishi is like Aryan. Rishi tells his colleague that if he had known that this company is of Priyanka's uncle, then he wouldn't have come here. Peon comes and tells that Abby is calling him. Priyanka is in Abby's cabin and tells that she will tell everyone that Rishi and I are like husband and wife. She says that if she doesn't marry him, then she will ruin everyone who doesn't want their marriage to happen. She thinks that once Rishi comes near her, then he would forget about everyone else. Rishi comes there and says that Mera sir called me. Priyanka says even I am waiting for him and she closed the door. She holds his hand and asks if he remembers. She tells that she saw him for the first time in the principal's cabin and it was like the moment got frozen. Rishi smiles hearing her reminiscing on their past. Priyanka says that the moment was the best for her and she can never forget it. She asks, do you remember when we talked first? He says on a college picnic and I held your hand by mistake. Priyanka asks that what happened that you left my hand. We used to love each other a lot. He tries to go and he asks Priyanka to call him when Abby comes. Priyanka stops him. Rishi says that we have nothing in common, but Priyanka says that we have love in common. Rishi is about to go, but Priyanka falls intentionally. Rishi runs to her and helps her get up, and Priyanka asks him not to leave her. Thank you so much guys for watching. Please kindly help me give this video a thumbs up. It just takes 1 second of your time and it doesn't take your money. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye guys.